Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News, as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Greetings, Boise State fans, and welcome to Vancouver, Canada. Been looking forward to this a long time. It was a beautiful day in Vancouver today, and it's going to be a beautiful night inside the Langley Event Center here in Vancouver tonight. Boise State arriving on the team bus, about an hour and a half ago. Coach Leon Rice greeting the players as they make their way into the arena. And as always, you can let us know if the sound doesn't sound great, but I think we're okay tonight, and we're very excited to help kick off the show here. Courtside in the Langley Event Center, our friend, the assistant coach for the Broncos, Tim Duryea. Tim, scoot a little closer to me so we don't cut you out here. But thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. How's it going?
Yeah, going well. Fun to be in Vancouver. Our team has had a great time together, and we've enjoyed the first 2 days. Got our last summer practice in, and we're ready to roll here and kind of see what we got.
Well, on behalf of Bronco Nation News, I appreciate you and Leon and everybody for the access you guys have given us on the trip. It's been a lot of fun. I know we have a ton of fans back in Boise just itching for basketball news, and that's a good feed. It's a good sign for the program that we were able to get sponsors that wanted to bring us here, and that we got already 100+ people watching this live right now because they're just anxious for basketball in July.
Yeah, it's when you bring your guys back in June and you have 8 weeks of a summer program, it's great to be able to kind of point towards your last week, going, hey, we're going to go on a foreign tour, and we're going to go together and play 3 games and get to spend a lot of quality time together. And it just kind of gives you something to point toward, and train for. And our guys have had a great summer, and we're looking forward to this.
Well, this is Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show. Tim Duryea is our guest. My name is BJ Rains. We are on the side, the bench side. There's no seats on this side. Kind of a unique arena here. All the seats are on the other side. When the team comes out here shortly for warm-ups, we'll show you the warm-ups. We're going to hear from Coach Rice, going to hear from some other players as well. But what do we know about Trinity Western?
Trinity Western, has quite a few players back from last year. They're leading a couple of scorers, good players, ball in hand, break you down kind of players. Have a 6'10" kid back that can do some things, can make shots from the perimeter. So, I think their summer program is a lot looser than an NCAA school is.
Okay.
And they haven't had the prep time that we have, but we're looking forward just to play different bodies, different people. You always want to practice and play against somebody that doesn't know what you're doing, and it always kind of gives you a feel for who's going to step up when the lights are on.
Now, one unique thing that I didn't even realize is international rules tonight, featuring a 24-second shot clock. You've got the larger free throw lane, the quarter system with the 5 fouls, and then resetting after the quarter. Going to be an adjustment for everybody tonight.
Yeah, it will be. It's 4 10-minute quarters. It's actually a rule that I figured the NCAA would go to a long time ago on the men's side, but they haven't been able to figure out the media timeouts and commercials and things like that. But on the women's side, there obviously is 4 10-minute quarters. So, yeah, the 24-second clock, when you come over to these events, that thing winds down in a hurry. So our guys will play with pace, and that's a good thing.
Tell us about just what you guys as a coaching staff want to get out of these 3 games, and I guess in particular tonight. I haven't announced it yet, but the little unique starting lineup tonight, you're going to get RJ Keane in there, as well as Jace Whiting, I believe, and Cam and Omar are both going to start in tonight's game. And I think Buzo, correct, is the 5th starter. So you're going to play guys different minutes, try out different combinations. I know winning is obviously the goal, but what do you hope to accomplish here tonight?
Just what you said. See a lot of combinations, see a lot of players. Obviously you mentioned RJ Keane. Here's a kid that hadn't played in 2 years because of a red shirt and an injury. And so, we're excited to see him. Omar's going to get his feet wet. Cam Martin, Coach told him today, we'll play a lot of different lineups, a lot of different combinations. Nobody's going to play a ton of minutes. It's not about your numbers. It's about, getting comfortable with different lineups. And again, just seeing what kids will do that haven't had much of a chance or that are new to our program.
Boise State taking the floor, so we'll get you out here in just a couple minutes, Coach. But I'm curious. You met, Cam and Omar. A lot of people see them battling for the 5 spot. But what does that do if you are able to get both of them on the floor at the same time? I know you're eager to see it, but how much do you think we'll see that this year?
Yeah, I think that'll be a combination you see quite a bit. And Cam has the ability to play both 4 and 5. He can stretch the floor and make threes. He can put the ball on the floor, like a 4 can, and then they'll just adjust to who needs to guard who defensively. But with Tyson, Cam, Omar, and then Mo, who, Mo Silla, who didn't get to make the trip because of visa issues, gives us a 4th 5. And so we'll see all those combinations on the front line. And then, we got some new guards as well that we're excited to trot out there. And again, they've worked really hard. The freshmen, Chris Lockett and Andrew Meadow have had really good summers. It'll be interesting to see how they respond to, when the lights come on.
Now, I know fans aren't going to be able to see the whole game. We're going to show them some highlights after the game. But in terms of offensively, what the fans that are here are going to see, you're not going to be calling plays every time down the court and stuff. I mean, what is how basic is what you guys have in offensively?
Yeah, we tried this summer to put in some of our structure, but not overwhelm guys where, all they were doing was thinking and not playing. And, we want them to play with pace. We want them to play fast. And yet we also want them to learn how to be accountable, to run things and execute things. So it's a fine line there. I'd say we have, 15% of our offense that we would have for a normal game in.
15%.
15,
wow.
20%.
Wow.
We've got 6 OB plays that we're gonna shuffle around and try to execute and score on. So, that's part of the summer. You got to teach your guys how to execute the way your program executes. And yet, again, you don't want to bog them down to where, they can't play and naturally make plays.
This must be another international thing. You guys are warming up on the wrong end. You're going to be warming up on the end you play on. You sit on, I guess.
Yeah. Everything's turned around when you come to the foreign countries. You just got to adjust on the fly.
Well, we appreciate it, Tim. We'll let you get ready to coach the game. Thanks so much for jumping on, and it's been a fun couple of days, and good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks, BJ. Appreciate it.
There he is, Tim Duryea. You see the Broncos warming up on the court. Behind me, I had to move the camera here to the other end of the floor because, that must be a new thing where even the team didn't realize what side of the court they were supposed to be warming up on. So we appreciate Coach Duryea for coming on. And, Kobe Young is out. Somebody's asking about Kobe Young. He is out tonight. And, again, let us know. Make sure it sounds okay. You can hear us okay. Let us know. But Kobe Young is out tonight. He is not playing due to a knee injury, but he should be good to go for the season. He just started getting back to practice. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in just a minute. He just gave us an exclusive interview as well. Coach Rice, nice enough to walk over and say, hey, do you need anything pregame? I said, sure, I'll take you pregame. Why not? So this is the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show live from Canada. Thank you to the over 100 of you watching live right now on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We really appreciate everybody for checking us out here. You see new uniforms for the Broncos. The uniforms did not come in for the new players yet, so these were kind of some basic uniforms they had made for the tournament. Just have the numbers and the Boise State Bronco logo on the front, but fairly basic uniforms that will probably become the practice uniforms here moving forward. But got some fans in the stands. I saw some BNN subscribers. We're talking to them. We got fans here Some parents are here. I see the Degenhart family. I see Mr. Whiting is here. I see some other players' parents as well. So pretty cool to have basketball in July to talk about. And before we play our live interview with Leon Rice, I have to thank a couple of our sponsors that made this trip possible. We would not be here without Brian King, RBC Wealth Management, the King Barrios and Bartlett Investment Group. They're ranked consistently number one in the wealth management team in Idaho from Barron's and Forbes. Check them out. Just Google Brian King, RBC Wealth Management, or again, 208-389-6812. We appreciate Brian King. We also thank Atkinson's Mirror and Glass, fourth-generation family business helping Idahoans build equity into their homes since 1951. For all your glass needs, you can check them out, AtkinsonsMirrorandGlass.com. Give them a call, 208-375-3762. Atkinson's Mirror and Glass, a proud supporter of Boise State Athletics and the Horseshoe Collective. And, of course, our man Matt Bauscher Real Estate. We appreciate him as well, the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small. Matt was already texting me saying he wants updates from the game tonight. Well, he'll be getting them on Bronco Nation News on all of our social media channels. And then on the post-game show, we'll have Coach Rice as well. I got something really cool to announce in a second for the post-game show. But the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher. Check him out. In our interviews, Taco Bell, we appreciate Taco Bell for jumping on board. Taco Bell gives back. Check them out for all the work they're doing, donating to Boise State Athletics in terms of scholarships and things. Our interviews are now brought to you by Taco Bell, so we appreciate Taco Bell and their support of Bronco Nation News. Okay, here's what's going to happen. They're playing the 40-minute game, as you just heard. 40-minute game is what they're going to be doing. And then after the game, the plan is now, as I move the camera here so you guys can get a little better view of the warm-ups, they're going to play a fifth quarter. And the fifth quarter is going to be for walk-ons and some extra guys. The game is not going to count. But Coach Leon Rice has allowed us to stream the fifth quarter. So we'll see what we can do in terms of streaming it with my amateur camera work. But we'll be streaming the fifth quarter of the game. And then we also will have Coach Rice joining us live, providing commentary. So if you come back about 10 o'clock and be ready, we'll go live on social as soon as we're able to. As soon as the first game ends, Coach Rice will come on. He'll talk about the game. It'll officially be part of the post-game show. And then at the beginning part of the post-game show, we will stream the 10-minute extra quarter with some of the walk-ons, and then some other players will play as well. Cam, Omar, a lot of guys will play, but the game just won't actually count. So get excited for that. Coach Rice making his BNN commentary debut. So we are looking forward to that coming up here in just a little bit. Let's hear from Leon Rice, the Boise State head coach. He joined us. We're so thankful Coach Rice did a little live interview with us. Here we go, Coach Leon Rice, exclusively Bronco Nation News. We get you set for tip-off here at the Langley Event Center. We're under 20 minutes till tip-off. We'll keep it rolling. Coach Rice on Bronco Nation News, Lithia Florida Boise pregame show.
Yeah, sometimes your instincts of what game days are like kick in, and, this is a little different. Because you have your routines on game day and, when they're league games and the games during the season, this is different. And, because of traffic and because of where we're staying, we had a little bit longer drive than we usually have on game day. But we're going to take advantage of every second we have on this trip. We did some great team bonding stuff this afternoon. And then we got to the gym early and we're working out. I mean, this is our last week with our guys, so we want to work on some things even before the game that can help these guys and make them better. We're trying to maximize every second, and that's the value of doing these trips is you got a lot of time together as a group. You got a lot of time to help a lot of the new guys. I mean, we're getting lots of shots up, doing post moves, and, hopefully making our team better.
So with that said, obviously you want to win, but what do you want to accomplish in tonight's game?
Well, when you think back to last year's the start, we knew Buzo was going to be a great player. And, he ended up showing how valuable he was and what a good player he was. But if you remember, the start of that year, he had to play through some things. I mean, he fouled out in 9 minutes in the first game. And, the second game wasn't much better. And he got his groove. So maybe, some of these guys like Cam's been hurt for a while, hasn't played for a while. Maybe he can work some of that stuff out in these games. So like I said, like you said, it's not about the competition, but it's about, putting a little jersey on and going out there working yourself through that game feel. RJ Keane hasn't played for 2 years. And, so both those guys are going to start tonight. They can kind of maybe get some whether you think or don't think there's always jitters and little butterflies getting to play basketball. And, you got to work through that feeling and deal with it a little bit, and maybe that helps you in November.
In terms of the rotations and the minutes and stuff, I mean, what is the plan to try to get everybody some playing time? And I know you're not going to be playing your starters, 35 minutes.
Yeah, that is the plan, but we're going to compete, and I want our guys. But, the most important outcome that I want out of these things is, like I said, let's get some experience for those guys. I know what, the data's in. We know what Tyson's going to do. We know what Max is going to do. And we got a good idea of Buzo. And so a big part of this is to make sure those other guys get a lot of minutes. Now, Tyson, Max, and those guys want to play, so we're not going to not play them. But they're great players, and they've gotten better this summer. They want to play against some guys and work on their stuff too. So, when I look back on the Costa Rica trip we did 5 or 6 years ago, Chandler and Justinian played 18 minutes a game. And, a year and a half later, Chandler was 22nd pick in the draft, and Justinian another couple years after that. So, the minutes, Zach Heaney was our leading scorer, which got him some good experience. And so things like that we'll try to work out. But, the most important thing probably is the development of some Roddy at the point guard, Jace at the point guard, Cam and Omar with experience, RJ Keane with experience, Andrew Meadow, Chris Lockett. That's probably, and Cade has been playing great. So that's probably the most important thing, get those guys some minutes.
And then you're going to make your commentating debut at the end during the fifth quarter here. Maybe fill fans in on how that's going to work after the real game.
Well, we're going to play a 40-minute game, and, then I wanted to play some extra time because we got 3 walk-ons that, probably won't play much during the season, if any. Sometimes they don't get any opportunities, especially with our schedule. And, it's not fair to them to not play them in these situations, but it's also nearly impossible to try to play 15 guys. So we're going to play an extra quarter. And again, Cam will play in those, Omar will play in those. We'll have, we'll treat those like minutes that are valuable, but probably with different combinations. So you and I can talk during that. And
you're graciously allowed us to show some of that too.
Yeah, I think that will, that'd be neat for those guys too. They don't get to be on TV much playing or any of that stuff. So we just, they put a lot in those programs. Those guys work just as hard as every starter, just as, and they do so much to help us with scout team, and that they deserve this and they deserve the opportunity. And, I don't want to bring them along for a week and not have a chance to play them. So that's what we came up with. And like I said, I want those other guys to get minutes. And you can't play 15 during a game.
Leon Rice, we appreciate him again for joining us on the pregame show. We bring you here courtside. BJ Rains with you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Bronco Nation News. How about this? One of the officials was doing some of the international games over in Hungary, it sounds like. It may have done one of those Team USA games that Coach Rice was a part of. So we are really excited to be here. What a cool experience to be in Canada, as I showed it earlier in the show. If you came on late and joined us, just a amazing day earlier today. Beautiful day outside in Canada. I was able to watch some of the seaplanes kind of take off and land. Really, really awesome to be able to do that earlier today. And the hotel is just downtown, right by where everything's going. The team arriving a little earlier today. Got here about 2 hours earlier than a normal game due to some of the traffic concerns. This is about an hour drive from the hotel for this game, so got here a little bit earlier just to make sure there were no issues, but worked out great. And there's actually a decent crowd here. There's a nice crowd. I'll turn and show this in a minute here, but the crowd is looking better than I thought it'd be. I'd say there's a couple hundred fans here for this game, so excited for that. And again, if you just joined us, the starting lineup, there are going to be some different starters tonight. Your starters for tonight's game: Jace Whiting at the point guard, RJ Keane at the 2, Chibuzo Abo at the 3, and both big guys are in the starting lineup, Cam Martin and Omar Stanley. We get an early look at both of them, who will be starting at the 4 and the 5 spots for Boise State. Degenhardt will play. Max Rice will play. They're all good to go. They're actually the 2 still out on the court taking shots right now. But just wanting to mix things up with the starting lineup, get some of the other guys some early action here today. So you see the team they're going to be playing, Trinity Western here at the Langley Event Center. They are warming up on the court, and going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to this. So we're going to hear from RJ Keane in just a minute, too. If you have any questions or comments, get them in. If you came on the show late, international rules tonight, 24-second shot clock you see up there above the basket. You also have the larger free throw lane, and then you get 4 quarters. So there will be 5 fouls, and then you take 2 shots after the 5 fouls. No 1-and-1s in tonight's game. There are some other smaller rules in terms of Coach Rice is not able to call a dead ball timeout, things like that. So there are some different rules from that standpoint. But the biggest ones are the 24-second shot clock, the bigger lane, and obviously the quarter system. So as you heard Coach Rice say there, the 5th quarter, the game will end after 4 quarters, but they're going to play a 5th quarter, and Coach Rice is allowing us to stream that live. This is the view it's going to be. We only have 1 camera. It's not going to be a great setup, but I will man the camera, and Coach Rice will allow the other coaches to coach. Pretty amazing when you think about it. Coach Rice the head coach is going to come over and join us and broadcast with us the 5th quarter and hang out and talk about the game. And we'll show some highlights and things as well. So be ready about 10 o'clock or so, 10:15. I don't think the media timeouts will be quite as long today. So 10:15 or so, be ready. We'll go live wherever you're watching it now. Make sure you turn on your notifications on YouTube so you know when we go live. And we'll have Coach Rice. We'll show the 5th quarter. We'll get a live player on, and we'll show highlights from the game as well, all coming up on the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show. Before we hear from RJ Keane, as we keep the exclusive access going, I do want to thank a couple of our other sponsors. We're broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick yours up at your local gas station or grocery store. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. They've got the concrete coatings, the one-day install. It's so much better than epoxy. They got the 10-year warranty, I believe. Check them out. They'll come out for free and give you an estimate, talk you through the process, that stained piece of concrete. Let them take care of it for you like they did for the Raines family. Speaking of the Raines family, we purchased a vehicle from Lithia Ford of Boise, and we hope you will as well. Lithia Ford of Boise. Check them out, lithiafordboise.com. View their full inventory of vehicles. And again, lithiafordboise.com. There's the Raines family, happy with our vehicle. So we thank Idaho Central Credit Union as well. Big supporters of Bronco Nation News. We're very appreciative of them. We thank Bronco Nation News. Thanks, Idaho Central Credit Union. ICCU.com. Find a branch near you. They're bringing you the Tyson Degenhardt Show as well. And one more sponsor I want to thank right now is the Blue and Orange Store. TheBlueandOrangeStore.com. Check them out. Free shipping, any order over $40 if you need some new Boise State gear for the season. And if you're in the Boise area, just go check out the Boise Town Square Mall there on the 2nd floor. Again, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. We got some other great sponsors that we'd like to thank, and we'll tell you about. You see the warm-ups there, obviously, our friends at Boise Dentistry Co., BoiseDentistryCo.com. They got locations all across the Treasure Valley. Check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. If you need insurance, United Commercial Insurance. They can take care of you. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. 44 states around the country. They can write business policy insurance. So check them out at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. And, of course, our friends at Ridley's Family Markets. Mark Ridley and company, big supporters of BNN. We appreciate Ridley's Family Markets. Go check them out as well at ShopRidleys.com. Earlier today, I had a chance to catch up with the team hotel with RJ Keane. Remember, our goal on this trip is to do at least one interview with every player on the roster. So Omar Stanley did an interview with Coach Rice yesterday. We're counting that. Jace Whiting was on the pregame show today. And then now we move on to RJ Keane. So at some point on the pregame, the postgame, the morning show, every player on the roster you're going to get to hear from, and every coach as well, because Mike Burns is going to kick off tomorrow's pregame show before the game tomorrow. So appreciate all the viewership. Thank you so much to everybody that has decided to tune in and give up part of your evening to watch this. We will have some sporadic highlights on social media, but the majority of the highlights will be on the post-game show. We'll also post them to our YouTube channel as well. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Turn on the notifications so you know when we go live or you know when a new video is posted. It's just youtube.com/Bronco Nation News. So make sure you check that out. And we would love for you, Bronco Nation News. And Derek says over 100 people. That's just on YouTube, man. The numbers are higher than that when you factor in Twitter and Facebook as well. So it is pretty awesome right now, and that you guys are in the chat. I wish I could show you the whole game. They're not letting us, like I said, but we will show you the fifth quarter. Come on back about 10:15 and follow me on social media. I will have some highlights posted, but I'm going to be taking a lot of highlights, saving them. I'll try to get some tweets out with some stat updates. I don't think there's any online stats or anything, and I am the only media member that made this trip, so I'll do my best to get stats out, to get some highlights out, but most of the highlights I'm going to put a package together for the post-game show, and we are looking forward to that. So let's hear from RJ Keane. RJ Keane earlier today in the team hotel. He is starting tonight. Here's your starting two-guard, RJ Keane.
RJ, what's the feeling like being here in Canada?
Well, the feeling's great. I mean, we were waiting for this for about 8 weeks now. We've been practicing for 8 weeks, and we're ready. And I can't wait to play tonight, and it's going to be a fun one.
What is the feeling like getting the practices in, and now, in the summer, a rarity, getting a chance to play a game? And I know for you it's been a long time waiting for this.
Yeah, it's been like 2+ years for me to play, but I'm so pumped. I can't wait for tonight, and it's going to be excited. I'm got a little, kind of little jitters, but it's good jitters. It's pump jitters.
What has the road been like for you? You red shirt, you think it's going to be your chance, then you have the injury. I mean, how'd you get through? How'd you get through it all?
Well, mainly just putting God first and having a good close-knit group with me, with my parents, my girl, and basically everything like that. I mean, they've been great supporters for me, and it's tough because everyone's journey is a little different. And I feel like that if I just keep on putting my all into it, time will come and God will lead me to the right way, and I feel like this could happen soon this year.
What should Boise State fans expect out of you? What are you hoping to do? I guess, first of all, just in these 3 games here in Canada, what do you want to do to show the coaching staff that you deserve some minutes?
Well, I should be the hardest working guy on the court. You should see me on every offensive rebounding glass and making the smartest play and just working hard, honestly. I mean, if I can do the little things right, it'll go a long way for me.
In terms of we've heard a lot about your shooting. You mentioned the little things, but what do you think you bring to the table, and how, could you get on the court this year?
I've been showcasing and practicing me playing hard. I can go rebound and not just shooting. I mean, I can make shots relatively easy, and I feel really confident in my shooting ability. But just getting boards, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, and basically just playing hard and cutting hard, doing the little things, maybe taking a charge every now and then, being really the glue guy to where I can find my role, kind of like a PJ Tucker, but with a Duncan Robinson jump shot.
We see, Andrew Meadows coming in as a freshman. We see kind of similar players. You're both good shooters, do some of the similar things. I mean, do you see it as like you and him fighting for playing time, or are you guys even like playing the same spot, or what do you think of Andrew so far?
Oh, I mean, me and Andrew get along well, and I mean, I don't think as competing. I mean, you're competing with everyone every day, and that aspect where it's like, oh, I'm competing with this guy, I'm competing with this guy. You compete every day to make each other better. I'm not really worried about who I'm playing over, and if I'm competing with him over minutes. No, I'm just competing to make sure I'm the best ability I can be, show the coaches what I can do.
Has your early impressions been with the practices back in Boise and stuff of this team? I mean, there was a lot made of Leon, saying he wanted to build a super team, and you obviously brought in some high-level transfers, and you got some returners back that have played, some guys like yourself that have been waiting for that chance. I mean, what do you think of the group you guys have?
Oh, I think we're going to be really special. We get along really well on the court. It was right away from our first open gym where everyone's just playing hard, playing together, and we compete, and that's the main thing. Like, you would think, this dude's full of vets. They would take days off. Like, no, man, we're going hard, and we're playing strong, and it's a fun way to compete. And we have really good guys that know their role already, and we're going to be really good.
Watching a couple of the practices, I mean, it seems like this team's going to shoot the ball pretty well. I mean, what's going to be the identity of this team? We've seen defensive-oriented teams in the past. Leon's had teams that scored a lot in the past. I mean, is this going to be a team that relies on defense, shooting, cutting, rebounding? What's this team going to hang their hats on?
I think we're going to be defense. I mean, we got Bernie running the head of the snake, and I mean, with him there, we're going to, of course, just be defense, but we're going to have a little bit of offense more this year. We can shoot the ball really well, and we can just play really hard, and I think we're going to be a little bit of everything. I think this could be one of our better teams in my 3 years here, even though I haven't played yet, but I really think we're offensively way better already.
When the fans, watch this game that tips off here in a little bit, who's a guy or two that they, either they already know and obviously will want to see because of their improvement, or who's a guy or two maybe, you like yourself that isn't the first name that comes to mind, but they're going to see they've made some big steps forward this year from last year?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of dudes that didn't have the opportunity that are coming back this year as me, but like dudes like Omar, you'll see him, you'll see his athleticism, you'll see Tyson, now he's slimmed down because he's not playing the center anymore. You'll see Max shooting more, and then Buzo's playing more confident. You have everyone. I mean, Jace will step up this year too. I think our team's fully going to play really well together.
Have you gotten a chance to do anything fun here in Canada since you've been here? Maybe tried maple syrup? What do you make of Vancouver here?
I mean, it's crowded. I mean, there was like a show last night, like the fireworks show here, and it's just crowded, traffic everywhere. But I think today we're going to a bridge and then maybe rafting. coming up, and I mean it's gonna be a fun time. And I mean just walking around, enjoying the nice 70-degree weather, like you can't get much better than that.
Well, hey man, appreciate your time, and glad to see you back out there healthy again, and best of luck here in Canada.
Sweet, thank you, BJ.
Well, there he is. We appreciate RJ Keane for coming on. We got 2 minutes on the clock. We'll see if you can maybe the Canadian and U.S. national anthems will stream before tip-off here. We're going to stay on as long as we can here during warm-ups. I'm sorry to get there. We're trying to – Lady is standing right in our way here. I was trying to see if I can get her to move for a little bit for the camera. But if you missed the news earlier today, by the way, Boise State, Bronco Nation News reporting, going to be playing in Idaho Falls on December 1st against St. Mary's. So nice opportunity against St. Mary's for the Broncos on December 1st. So they're going to have a pretty tough non-conference schedule. That story was sent to subscribers, paying subscribers of Bronco Nation News, got that first, and then it went out on social media. You see Boise State warming up. Nice crowd here. This is going to be a fun game. Really looking forward to this, and we're really excited to be here. Bronco Nation News on the road with the basketball team here in Canada. And I got to thank Cody Gogler, Nate Lowry, obviously Coach Rice, the whole staff. The access they've been providing us is second to none. Really appreciate them letting us be a fly in the wall in some of this. And we're like 3 feet from the bench right here. I mean, it's just a pretty amazing setup, and we're very thankful. But, most importantly, thankful to you guys. We got record viewership right now. There's more people watching this than watch a football postgame show. And that's showing the growth of Bronco Nation News, but also showing the growth of this program that you guys are all on a random night in July wanting to watch Boise State basketball. So really excited. Going to be a fun game. You see the clock winding down, the final minute. Go subscribe. We'd love to have you. $70 for a full year. And thanks to our sponsor at Taco Bell, the next 20 of you that sign up, I think it's like 10. The next 10 of you that sign up, you get a $20 gift card to Taco Bell. So subscribe, go get the gift card to Taco Bell, and we'd love to have you. Bronco Nation News, bronconationnews.com. We'll keep this going, I guess, if anybody wants to see it. Might as well show the national anthems here if we can. And again, Boise State getting set to play Trinity Western. Go subscribe, bronconationnews.com. bronconationnews.com. Go subscribe. $20 gift card to Taco Bell with a yearly subscription. And we'll get out here and let the PA announcer take over for a couple of minutes for the starting lineups.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lithia Center, home of the Spartans. This evening, welcome representing Boise State Broncos as they take on the home team, your Trinity Western University Spartans. Fans, before we leave the team, we bring you a special video message from Victor Trinity Western Museum. Please direct your attention to the video screen.
A Crestini, a Saltulas to Stalo, Cell Sweet Tamatala, Pavicia Tasqui, Dalitsa Kichiam, A Tels Fulwell, Wells Kotzlana. It's so good to see each one of you here today. I'm Patty Victor from Chiam First Nation, welcoming you to the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Salt people. Acknowledging the Kinsi and Kwantlen people for the faithful stewardship of this land since time immemorial. It's so good to be together today and say hello to the Spartans. Have a good game. God bless you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we do ask that you please rise if you are able and please remove your hands from the light of the American and Canadian national anthems.
Well, again, we are getting set for tip-off. We can show you a couple more minutes. We have to be out of here when tip-off starts, but we'll show you while we can the starting lineups for the Boise State men's basketball team as they get set to take on Trinity Western here inside the Langley Event Center. Again, thank you to Lithia Ford of Boise for sponsoring our pregame show. Thank you again to all of our great sponsors, including our sponsors that made it possible to be here on this trip: RBC Wealth Management, Atkinson's Mirror and Glass, and Boucher Real Estate. Please go support the sponsors for making it possible for us to do this show. Oh, they're turning the lights out here. We got a big crowd here, a nice crowd. We got the lights going off, a little LED lighting seating. This is a big time here in Canada. They know Boise State, two NCAA appearances in a row. They came out in full force for this one. It's going to be a road game for the Broncos. I bet you there's more fans here than were in Charlotte last year for that tournament. There's more fans in here than a San Jose State game maybe. There's a nice crowd here for this one, and it is going to be a fun atmosphere. So, again, thank you to everyone for watching the show. Please go subscribe. We'd love to have you, and we have a deal for you. 1BNN is the promo code. 1BNN. You can try us for $1 for 1 month. Read all of our content for the next month for $1 at 1BNN, and then it renews at the regular price after that, unless you don't like it and want to cancel, which I don't think will be the case. So, again, we would love to have your support. And again, if the next 10 of you that sign up for the $70 yearly subscription, our new sponsor, Taco Bell, will throw in a $20 gift card to Taco Bell. So we hope you subscribe. We'd love to have you. And again, make sure you're paying attention and you're coming back for the post-game show. On the post-game show coming up about 10:15, we will stream the fifth quarter live. They're going to play an extra quarter of the game. We're going to stream that live coming up at about 10:15 or so. So make sure you're watching all of the social media channels of Bronco Nation News so you know when we go live, and you'll be ready to go on the post-game show. Coach Rice is going to sit down and join us live, and we are looking forward to that. So that'll come on the post-game show right at about 10:15. Again, a live broadcast of the fifth quarter of the game for the walk-ons and some guys to get some extra playing time. And that'll be coming up again about 10:15 on all the social media channels of Bronco Nation News. So, again, Broncos getting set to go. Nice crowd on hand. We'll show you as the Broncos kind of take the court here. And, again, your starters for Boise State: RJ Keane, Jace Whiting, Chibuzo Abo, Omar Stanley, and Cam Martin. So we'll have tons of coverage, tons of highlights on our YouTube channel, and really excited to be here and bring you Boise State basketball, thanks to all of our great sponsors. So Broncos taking the court. We're going to get ready to end the stream here. You can see the crowd. Nice crowd, nice gym. This is going to be a lot of fun. We got to get off the broadcast here, but come back on the post-game show. Follow us on YouTube for all the highlights. It's going to be a lot of fun. Boise State, Trinity Western, basketball in July. We'll have you covered. Bronco Nation News Live, bronconationnews.com.